A new poll shows Bernie Sanders in the driver's seat in New Hampshire holding a 20-point lead over Hillary Clinton with the primary only 4 days away. And the Clinton camp has more cause for concern. So when you break down the numbers, look at this. Sanders is even beating Clinton among women, with whom she has typically done well. But Clinton is fighting back and playing the gender card in last night's debate when Sanders accused her of being part of the establishment. Watch this.
Honestly, Senator Sanders is the only person who I think would characterize me, a woman running to be the first woman president, as exemplifying the establishment.
The only person? Julie Roginski. I mean, seriously.
I cringed. I did. I saw that and I cringed. I mean, she and her husband came from Arkansas. They were not establishment. They fought their way up, but they are now establishment. Congratulations, by the way. A lot of people spent a lot of time trying to get to the establishment. They succeeded. Why don't you just own it? Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you're not part of the establishment. Plenty of women in this world are part of the establishment. I get the point that she'll be the first woman president if she wins, but it doesn't exclude her from being part of the establishment. Of course she is. She's like royalty. They're like American royalty, the Clintons. I mean,
deities.
Deities.
I mean,
they created this, the new, at least in 1992, the new Democratic establishment. That is of their creation. You know, her husband was a two-term president. She was a United States senator. She was the Secretary of State. She is now running for president. I don't know how else you define establishment, but to say somehow that women exist outside the establishment, that in and of itself is a very sexist implication.
Yeah, that's sexist.
Yeah, Jesse Waters, don't get yourself in trouble here. Let me ask you a different question.
Can I just say something? Hillary is so establishment that she stole the White House china and got away with it. They were like, oh, yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just bring some of it back.
Just bring it back later. How is it possible that Sanders leads Clinton among women 50% to 46?
Because he's a ladies' man. I mean, Sanders, the ladies love Sanders. What are you talking about? I'm not surprised by that. Women, like, fall over themselves for Sanders. He's like a sex symbol.
Are we talking about the same guy?
Listen, that really, it speaks to how pathetic Hillary's campaign is. She can't even get women to vote for.
She leads with 60-plus voters. That's her group, over 60.
I think it was on full display last night. I really do. And yes, I'm the C-SPAN watcher. I'm watching all of it and enjoying every second of it. But I got to tell you, it dropped so loudly when she dropped the gender card, as if to say the only thing that would separate her from everybody else, the way that she is the outsider, is based on her identity as a woman. And you and I talked about this before the show. We've got to stop this division line, because if she's going to drop the gender card, I guess when she gets to the South, she'll be dropping the race card. Like, this is, why don't
How's she going to do that?
She did that in South Carolina. She did that in South Carolina at the Democratic debate there.
President. That's what I would say if I were her.
Oh, my goodness.
So my point is...
Harris is about to punch you right now.
No, it's Friday.
Wouldn't be the
it's
first
no
time.
Friday.
That's no fun.
Hashtag no punch Friday.
My point is, if you can't argue with Bernie Sanders on substance... By the way, when he argued last night, he didn't even look at her. Because she would bring up this, I'm a woman, I'm blah, 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 blah. And he's like, let's just, and then she was accusing him of things. He's like, oh, boy, here we go. You know, I mean, it was fun, like you said, to have a two-sided box there, and you got to see them both. But that's really offensive, that you don't have more of an argument than based on your anatomy. I mean, you got to raise it, and we are not outside the bubble.
It was as bad as her answer on. It was as bad as her answer on the Goldman Sachs money that she received for her speeches, when she said to Anderson Cooper, "Well, that's what they offered." And
that was kind of funny, actually.
But that Wall Street line of attack from Bernie Sanders, that is her Achilles ankle.
But why not embrace it? This is the answer I would have given. I would have said, look, I have spent the last 30 years fighting on behalf of people in the Senate. That's First Lady.
She did say some of that.
Keep going. Talk about all your bona fides as to why you've become the establishment, and say, that's why I'm able to get things done. That's why I'm effective. You're not going to get things done from outside the fringe. You have to be part of the process to get things done. That's how you explain the establishment. You flip it around and you say that the establishment are the people that are actually able to accomplish things and are not fringe like Bernie Sanders. That's the answer, as opposed to playing the gender card, which made no sense. Why would she ever do that?
Just say that women are outside of everything, that we can't get anything done unless she does it for us.
Right.